it's time. Thank you so much, Scott, for bringing us in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it once again. Welcome to another episode. Are you enjoying that? Feel free to... Oh, my God. We're going to mute her. Everybody, welcome. If this is your first time watching, I'll remember to not give her this before we go live again. If this is your first time watching, one of the most powerful things you can do right now is to share the feed. Share the live feed, whether you're watching from YouTube, Facebook, where else are we? Twitch, Snap, Splat, Boot, Punch, Kick. We're on all the shit. Make sure that you share this live stream. Go ahead, cough. Just go ahead. Go ahead. Lexi's going to cough for the next 15 minutes. I'm going to play some music. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is sponsored by Lexi Swarm's Coughing. The coughing that won't quit.
Sorry. I thought I had it under control.
We've been podcasting for half a decade. We've got to get this coughing thing under control. Okay, look. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to our pages. This is plural. We are a band. My name's William. Sepsis is a band. We're a hard rock and heavy metal band from Manchester, New Hampshire. Ain't that right?
Right. Hell yeah.
Off stage, we are also streamers. We're content creators and everyday people. We're going to play a game of horseshoes.
We're going to play a game of horseshoes.
You can donate to the band. Our images, our broadcasts, that's right. You can donate to the live stream right here by donating stars on Facebook.
You sounded like the Grinch.
I am the Grinch. Also, you can also subscribe and support the band right here.
Subscribe.
I'm serious. Today,
you will respect my authority.
Sure. Each and every Wednesday, we're learning, we're examining the top industry stories, news, technology, and social media right here. If I start talking like this the whole time, you're going to get stuck on it. This is the only band page on the internet that's covering live music industry news, the way that we do, Lex. Simply put, we talk about the topics and take on the challenges that other people's favorite bands are just too afraid to talk about.
They're scared.
I mean, let's face it. When you belong to an industry where being accepted means, you know, the difference between your longevity and success, this matters the most. We are teaching musicians and fans every day that music actually isn't just man-made, and that this is a show about how people and music relate to the world. We're not journalists, however, and we do put the articles information on the screen so you guys can follow along. Everybody, welcome to another episode of William versus the World. All right.
Great timing.
How you guys doing? I missed all of you guys. Hi, Scott. How you doing? Hans, my buddy Hans. All the brothers in here. Let me bring you guys up close.
Oh.
Yeah, I have multiple screens here.
Oh.
I could bring people in, you know.
Mm.
How you guys doing? Hi, Gian. Who's Gian? Hi, Gian. That's a different name. You sound like somebody that's new here. Well, welcome to the program. So our first story today, actually, is... Well, there's a lot about AI. I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to warn everybody right now. If you don't want to know about artificial intelligence, this is not the episode for you. And it's because it's dominating music news. I mean, it's like artificial intelligence is dominating the conversation space. And the other topics that are dominating the conversation space we don't really cover here. I know you guys don't want me to cover the other conversations that are dominating the topic and conversation space, right? You guys want me to keep it P, right? You guys want me to keep it music, and you want me to keep it professional. This is a music page, and we do cover world stories, but at this particular time, with the hyper-focused topics being based on all things other than music, I think it's important to have a few safe spaces online where we're not focusing in on that. So that's what this is. And so the other large, I'm telling you, I scoured for industry news. You know me. I'll even do, goofy rumors and silly stuff every now and then, TMZ, Loudwire shit. If it's music related. But right now the conversation space is dominated by artificial intelligence. So I know this is a show that has a lot in store. And one thing that we do cover is science and technology, tech, and social media. So without further ado, a whole fun night of AI. We got some other things too. But here we go. Meta AI can now use your Facebook and Instagram data to personalize its responses. Remember when they said that this stuff wasn't using your data?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to point that out. Remember it says it wasn't using your personal data, wasn't recording our personal moves?
It has been the whole time as part of TOS.
A whole bunch of words just came in when you said TOS.
In terms of service.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's always been embedded in social
Well, I've been
media.
in bed before too, but it's never been like this. Meta says that it's rolling out its improvement to Meta AI, its cross-platform chatbot, including the ability to have the bot remember details from conversations.
This is what a lot of things do.
Okay, so in a post on Meta's official blog, I didn't know they had a blog. The company said that in chats with Meta AI on Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp for iOS and Android in the US and Canada, users can now tell Meta AI to remember certain things about them, like that they love to travel and learn new languages. So I guess you can tell it, hey, remember,
I need you to bookmark.
Right. Aunt Connie has hazel eyes. Darren's birthday is October the 12th. You know what I mean? The memory feature, similar to the memory feature for OpenAI's ChatGPT and Google's Gemini, makes AI pick up on important details based on context, according to Meta. For example, if a user mentioned in previous chats that they're vegan and asks Meta AI for breakfast ideas, the chatbot will consistently factor in that dietary preference.
What about them talking about murder?
A whole bunch of range of criminal ideas just popped in my head. But that's me. Here's the thing. I discovered the internet in a prison library. The first time I was ever introduced and somebody said, "This is the internet." I was a kid locked up in a prison for children. I'm not talking about a fucking group home. I was in a fucking maximum state penitentiary for children where they beat and rape children. I know it's hard to believe, but there is the first place I had ever I was introduced to the internet, was in this complex. It was in a prison library, and we were all standing around. A bunch of us kids were standing around waiting to be transported to the next building or whatever we were doing,
Mm-hmm.
And we were getting handcuffed and shackled up. And then the teacher at the time was like, everybody gather around the computer. This is the breakthrough of the fucking world. And we were like, what the hell? Because we didn't even know what was going on down the street. We'd been locked up in these places, you know? Mm. So we didn't know about, I don't know, the new TV shows or the cartoons on television. We wouldn't have known the difference, you know? Mm. And they said, hey, kids, gather around. This is a breakthrough thing. This is breakthrough technology. And we all stood around. And the teacher tried looking up some songs or some music, and they played it out of the computer. And I remember I was blown away. It took 15 minutes to download a song.
15 minutes?
It might have been more.
Oh my.
It might have been more.
That's insane.
This is a long time ago,
wow.
man.
I'm
just saying. This reminds me of then, though.
Do they use a floppy disk?
Oh, there was all kinds of floppy shit happening. You know? Yeah. Everything was floppy back then. You know? It's just the way it was. So anyways, I'm not impressed. Maybe you guys are.
I'm not impressed
I
either.
don't give a shit. I want to be like, just for the sake of the show, I want to be more excited about it. But
this is groundbreaking.
We all know that this, you know what I mean? That's what this is about.
I was going to lead there the second it came out with this Meta AI. I was going to lead to storing things.
Stealing things.
Right.
Storing and stealing.
We knew this was going to happen.
You know what, though? There is a never-ending supply of expanding data. So fucking good luck to them collecting it all and storing it all. You can have all the intelligent bots in the world, and the goal could be to get people's data. But as we've learned, and as we're starting to learn, that there is a never-ending, rather insufficient amount of pointless fucking data. So great, you have all the data from yesterday, but you have the problem and the challenge of getting and storing all the data of tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And with technology and the ability for our species to create data at light speed, have fun, motherfucker, sorting that out.
Because the only thing that travels at light speed or faster than is useless information.
We can move on from there. So is it really data, or is it our attention? Because if there's an unlimited amount of data in these machines, we've thought the whole time that they're getting data, and I think that that's true. You know, in terms of buying and selling and demographics and how many people they can sell Super Bowl tickets to and making predictions about gummy worms. I understand it. Right?
Yeah. I predict they're gonna buy 2 more gummy worms.
Right, we're gonna put 8 more red gummy worms in the fucking package because we know it's gonna blow your mind, right? It's gonna blow your mind. All right, so that's what I'm saying. Is that there's an infinite amount of data that's coming to the internet, and go fuck yourself trying to sort it all out, developers. If you have $1 billion, right? Say you're a billionaire, right? You're going to run out of money because there's never-ending amounts of data. So if you're a billionaire and the whole reason for you to live is to suck up people's data, if that's the whole goal, then you're going to run out of billions of dollars before people run out of ideas and data. You have the painstaking challenge, if you're a billionaire, and your whole digital plantation and conquest ideas are all motivated on data, then you're fucked. Because you don't have the billions of dollars to fucking store the infinite amount of pointless data that's coming out on Spotify tomorrow. You feel what I'm saying? Literally fuck your mom. So what I think is that more than likely, most of these supervillains are probably not actually looking for data, or they're figuring out data is limited based on the capacity that their machines can organize. They got a lot of fancy machines that can't organize the data we have, Lexi.
My other thing too is they can't organize it, nor do they have enough space to even store it.
Kevin said CDs were brand new at the time. I love CDs. We'll talk about that. There's a whole revolution of CDs coming back. Ones that apparently don't play in the CD player.
Where do they play? In our kneecap.
Maybe. Lexi's got a kneecap CD player. If anybody wants one. Oh, Kevin said use floppy disks.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's a lot of floppy disks. How much can you store in a floppy disk?
I mean, what does that matter to somebody like you?
I'm
Like,
just curious.
and no, I'm not trying to be rude. What I'm saying is, the kind of information that they stored on floppy disks, I don't think human beings your age would care too much about. You would be the rare bug that would enjoy the information that would fit on a floppy disk. Like, I don't know, Napoleon Hill's PMA, or a copy of, Pet Sematary. You couldn't fit a lot on a floppy disk. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, here we go. Kev said right here, 1 fucking megabyte. Thank you, Kev. A megabyte.
Wow.
There's more megabytes in Captain Crunch.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow. 1 megabyte.
Right. A single megabyte. Like, that's, like, I don't even know what that is.
Could you imagine us still using
That's like
floppy
a horn.
disks?
Like
and
this
they
more.
would have to store all, like, the data. Just imagine the floppy disks.
Right, it gets floppy. And the thing is like think of like a megabyte is like 1 drum sample. Dish. Like not like
That's it.
like that's what I'm saying. Like a megabyte? Like I don't know.
The entire drum set would take up the city.
Are you kidding me? Are you
entire
kidding me?
Composed drum take would take up an entire city.
Right, and it would take an entire week to record. 1 megabyte isn't enough for Hans to film 1 set on stage. He's right. He's
true.
right.
That's true.
You wouldn't be able to. I don't even know if you could fit like Oregon Trail might fit on a floppy disk.
Might though. You said might.
Might. Oh, wait a minute. Conquer Games used to use 6 floppies. Look at that.
What?
Kevin's got this shit on lock.
What?
See? I'm telling you.
You had to put all 6
Listen,
floppy disks into the computer in order for you to do the things.
You got to ask Kev. It's ICG night tonight. If he's on, you're going to have to ask him.
I have a lot of questions about this floppy disk. Because this
We should watch something about... Oh, you want to watch old computers crap?
Yeah.
Because the truth is, I was one of the only... I grew up a very, very fortunate child. And I was fortunate enough to... I was one of the only kids on my street that first had a computer, like when they came out. We had one.
Oh, that's cool.
We didn't know what the fuck to do with it, but we had it.
That's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
First computer? That's so cool.
I didn't have the first computer. I'm not quite that old. Jesus Christ. But I had a computer.
I didn't mean
Jesus.
that.
Hold on, lady. We got to hit the clap on her. If it worked. What's going on with the clap thing? I need shit. I need one of those cool stream decks, like all the other YouTubers have.
Oh yeah.
All the other. Oh yeah.
That's the truth. I'm gonna have to.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm real pissed off.
This article does not sound like one that's
I'm
fun
hurt.
to read.
I'm hurt. I'm personally hurt because I love the MLC and I want them to win.
But
if you are an artist and you don't know about the Music Licensing Collective, Mechanical Licensing Collective, you got to go check them out because they are I would say that they are allies in the fight of artists being paid fairly and being compensated for their mechanical royalties. That's the MLC. So earlier this year, Spotify was confronted by the MLC for bundling a lawsuit. The court has apparently dismissed legal action brought by the MLC. I'm really disappointed by it. But let's focus on that. And I do have something else. Too. Spotify's beaten a lawsuit brought by the Mechanical Licensing Collective, MLC, over the streaming service's decision to reclassify its premium subscriptions as bundles. Remember we were covering this?
Yeah.
The long arm of the law takes a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So on Wednesday, January 29th, Judge Annalisa Torres of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York granted Spotify's motion to dismiss the lawsuit with prejudice. With prejudice. That's interesting.
What does that mean?
Hold on a second. We'll get to that. I'm going to look up. This is law, case law. We got to be accurate.
Yeah.
I want to be that. With prejudice. All right. When a court dismisses an action, they can either do so with prejudice or without. Dismissal, without prejudice means that the plaintiff cannot refile the same claim again in court. Dismissal with prejudice means the plaintiff cannot refile. And as I repeat from earlier, on Wednesday, January 29th, Judge Annalisa Torres of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York granted Spotify's motion to dismiss the lawsuit with prejudice, meaning the MLC can file again. You see? That's why I wanted to make sure we were all on the same page. So now when we start to read this article, it's a truer sense of the stories will emerge for us if we understand the English. Do you see why English in case law is so important?
Mm-hmm.
Lexi watches a lot of C-SPAN. Okay, so the conflict between the MLC and Spotify began in March of 2024. Do you remember?
Yes.
When Spotify reclassified its premium subscription tiers as bundles, as now they include 15 hours of audiobook access each month. And do you remember where I did a episode where I pointed out how that was taking from the artist royalty pool?
Yes.
By them adding in audiobooks and calling them bundles,
mm-hmm.
is actually siphoning from the musician pool. The move controversially resulted in Spotify paying a lower mechanical royalty rate to publishers and songwriters in the United States.
Wow.
That's because under a 2022 legal settlement called Phono Records, music publishers and music streaming services agreed that bundle services in the United States are permitted to pay a lower mechanical royalty rate to publishers and songwriters than standalone music subscription services. It's a hack.
Wow. It's like a trick.
It's a trick. The MLC filed a lawsuit against the streaming service in May, alleging that Spotify had underpaid royalties to songwriters and publishers as a result of the bundling move. Do you remember me covering that here?
Yes.
The Mechanical Licensing Collective is a nonprofit organization designated by the U.S. Copyright Office to administrate blanket compulsory license and to ensure that music streaming services like Spotify pay mechanical royalties that they owe to songwriters and music publishers.
Like, hello?
Like, what the fuck? Spotify spokesperson told Music Business Worldwide, "We are pleased with the outcome, which demonstrates that after careful review by the court, Spotify's premium service is appropriately categorized as a bundle." Here's an update. The MLC issued the following statement. The MLC acknowledges today's decision by Judge Torres of the U.S. District Court in the Southern District of New York. The MLC brought this action to address the unprecedented steps taken by Spotify to significantly underreport royalties to the Mechanical Licensing Collective. Congress authorized the Music Licensing Collective to take legal action in situations like this to enforce the payment obligations of digital services under compulsory blanket licensing. We continue to be concerned that Spotify's actions are not consistent with the law and that today's decision does not align with the facts and legal principles central to this action. We are reviewing the decision and evaluating all available options. And they have a right to appeal. Why?
Because it was dismissed with prejudice.
Correct. Yay! I'm trying to do my clap thing because you're hitting. Yeah. Great job, Lex. That's what I'm talking about.
Hell yeah.
How do you feel about that, everybody?
Honestly, I'm not surprised, but at the same time, the fact that they have the ability to appeal this makes it like they have like a second chance to maybe come up with some more evidence or something. Like,
I also think it starts the conversation.
Yeah.
And it introduces the MLC to the courtroom and gets them brushed up and gets them greased up for what today's modern courtroom is going to be like. And that's, I mean, I hate to go there, but that's if programs like the MLC are going to be able to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're headed towards a world where the huge corporations and billionaires and large, apps and developers like Spotify and Facebook, and we're going into a world where the developers and billionaire superstars in Silicon Valley get to make the decisions right up alongside courtrooms and politicians. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
This is the world that many people were hoping to have. So
this is the start of the good fight.
We'll see what happens from there. In the meantime, AI Music Boss says musicians don't actually like making music.
Says who?
AI Music Boss says musicians don't actually like making music. A tale as old as time, CEO invents a problem no one has in order to sell the solution.
What the fuck?
Yeah, so think of it this way, Lexi. The very first musicians were making music just fine. In fact, they were making music and benefiting from making music on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Without anybody's help. They would just write music and then play the music. I know it seems hard to believe, but there was a time when musicians just played music and benefited from it, and so did the people around them, until somebody walked into their life, a salesman, a bad actor, and said, "Hey, you're not a real musician until, of course, you're on that stage over there. Come with me, I'll put you on that stage, and then everyone will see that you are an authentic, real musician. But you can only be a real musician if you're on that stage. And you'll only be on that stage if you go through me. And then the musician is playing on stage and jamming around. Everything's going well. He's making money. And then things get rough. And then the bad actors start coming back in. And they go, hey, you know what? You're not much of a musician just sitting there on that stage. In fact, you're nothing like the guy over there. You know, a lot more people would be here in front of this stage if you gave your music to me in a recording. Come to me, go into this fancy studio. We'll take a snapshot of you playing music. And it's so cool. You'll make money from your music and you won't even have to physically play it. Just give it to me. And the musician goes, what do you mean? I'm not going to be a real musician unless I take a snapshot and a recording, an image, and put it on a device and have it mimic my art? So you're telling me we're going to take a snapshot of what I do in reality and we're going to put it in a machine and it's going to mimic me and I won't even have to do anything? Well, even though that sounds like a crazy scam. I mean, when has anybody ever said you're not going to have to do anything? That would have got me right there, you know? Mm-hmm. But, hey, I said, man, it's hard work touring, going to these stages. It's so much hard work meeting all these fans. Imagine if we could just put our music inside this machine and we could fast track it. We could skip the process altogether. Going town to town, and we'll become real musicians. We'll do it faster and harder if we put it on this thing called a recording. And then they took that recording, and once that recording was a piece of property, then they could say, hey, you know, I've got your music on this piece of property, but it ain't worth a shit unless we put it on the radio. You're never going to be a real musician. And the musician goes, what the fuck are you talking about? I was fine making music before. I was playing music on the side of the road. People were paying me, clapping, dancing. I knew everybody. You know, it was easy for me to manage. Everybody knew me by name. They knew where I was going to play. Now it takes an army of people, you know, for me to do something I love. And there's a middleman and a middleman and a middleman and a middleman. And now you can't just go on the radio, but now you need a lawyer and you're going to need an accountant. And you got not just mechanical royalties, but publishing royalties and, you know, splits. And then in comes the record labels and the billboards and the charts. So at one point, you know, the musician is on the radio. And then the musician's told yet again, well, you know what? You're not going to survive doing what you love to do. You're not going to be able to do what you want to do. Of course, we got this new device called a television. And in order for you to be an authenticated real musician, you got to be on TV. You got to be on MTV. You got to be on VH1. So the musician at the time goes, oh my God, you know. By means of my survival, I have to do the things. I have to behave in the ways. I have to put a quarter in the machine. I have to dress up and play my part in hopes that I can get on television. I have to meet the people. I have to install myself in the crowds and the communities and install the behaviors and install the perceived value and talent. To have a greater chance at being seen on television, and as you know, television wasn't enough. An arena rock started, right? And then you had to be you wasn't shit unless you was in the arena. You wasn't shit. You weren't a real musician unless you know you were on the radio. And you weren't a real musician unless you were on CDs. And you weren't a real musician. Then the internet came out. Right? And now, you know, and now people say, you know, what do you want? Apple? What do you want? YouTube? What do you want this? Or what do you want that? And, you know, and if you're not on one of these special little gadgets, then you're not a real musician. And that's how they got us with this shit. By walking in the room and convincing people that the only way they can be authenticated doing something they love is if they go through a company or a legacy corporation.
Unless they're scammed,
It's the only way.
manipulated, and groomed.
Have you ever found yourself reading about the innovations coming out of the AI space and wondering if the supposed geniuses behind the entire movement aren't actually just a bunch of lazy, deeply uncreative losers who don't want to put an ounce of effort into learning how to be good at something? So they created a technology that allows them to synthesize a talent so others can perceive them as talented? Well, Mikey Schulman, the CEO of AI music program Suno AI, just basically admitted that during a podcast interview. Speaking to the 20 VC podcast, Schulman gave some awfully revealing answers that provide us some of the valuable insight into the philosophies, insecurities, and personal failings fueling people spearheading the artificial AI cash grab. His boldest admission was nestled within a conversation about democratizing the ability to create music, which on the surface sounds like a worthwhile endeavor. I'll say the same thing for social media. That's how they sold social media to us.
Mm-hmm. Same thing.
Yeah, nestled in the conversation of democratizing the ability to create music. Free speech, people are going to be able to say what they want. We're all going to share recipes on tofu.
The whole nine.
The whole nine. The same bullshit they sold us on Facebook and Snapchat.
And anything else they want to sell us.
Right, and anything else. But the more he talks about it, the more he gives the game away, as you'll see from the next part, quoted here. It's not really enjoyable to make music now, he says. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of practice. You need to get really good at an instrument or really good at a piece of production software. I think the majority of people don't enjoy the majority of the time they spend making music. This motherfucker keeps saying majority. It says everything right there.
Mm-hmm.
He's completely hyper-focused on what he thinks the majority wants, because these machines that they build these machines to organize and to curate what they believe the machine is predicting about the majority. Holy shit!
It's like we're teaching each other. We're teaching the machine, and the machine's teaching us.
Yikes. So the true purpose of the tech world's obsession with AI has revealed itself yet again. People who themselves are not inherently talented want to be considered on par with people who have put in the countless hours of work and effort required to become genuinely good at something.
Lazy.
It's a position that reeks of entitlement and laziness. It's a technology created by people who don't want to make things easier. They don't want to work at all.
I am so happy that someone wrote it and someone is saying it.
It's not about making things easier. It's about making machines for people who don't want to work at all. People who don't want to practice. They don't want to pay their dues by putting in the time and effort. They don't want to take on the process. They don't want to take on the accolades that come with being talented.
Someone said it.
Isn't it nice?
This is the most beautiful thing, beautiful text I've
Don't you
read
love it?
all day.
It's just nice that someone's saying it. This piece of shit. I've had
Someone
enough.
other than
Ah.
us.
Fucking had it with this microphone. I'm getting a new microphone.
It's time to get a new microphone.
It's driving me crazy. All right. So the irony here, of course, is that Suno AI runs generative AI tools trained on copyrighted music, created by people who are actually fucking talented. People who did not provide consent for their work to be used to train AI models are now suing Suno because of it.
And they damn should.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that in the chat? It's just like, what the fuck? Gia says he agrees. Scott says bullshit AI. Creating music is a natural, organic way for musicians to create human emotions. Let me turn down my emotional bass on this microphone. Yeah.
I love the sentence that Arthur wrote, and they're like, it's like, and they go, it's like Robin Hood's an asshole. That's funny.
What do you guys think about this stuff? Oh, gosh. Okay, so here's another one. OpenAI, you guys know OpenAI, ChatGPT, and all that other stuff? OpenAI says DeepSeek. Have you heard of DeepSeek yet? DeepSeek is the new Chinese version of ChatGPT, and supposedly it fucking power slams OpenAI. And don't get that confused with the new. They have a new one now. They have a new one from. Hold on, let's look it up.
From India, right?
I think so.
This is the age-old. Someone has something that someone wants, and they want it, and they want to make it better, which is making the United States like always look like guinea pigs.
So apparently they're all fighting over this stuff.
This is stupid.
So
We're all just copying each other.
this is what people do.
One person has a gun, the other person needs to have a fucking grenade. Like, what?
That is I don't know. This is what people do, Lex.
They're bored.
People are bored. All right, OpenAI says DeepSeek. OpenAI. I don't even use it.
If you put it together,
Hold on.
OpenAI DeepSeek. DeepSeek, OpenAI. Sounds like it goes together.
Here. Now hold on. Don't start coughing on the chat. Everyone's
mute.
gonna get concerned.
I'll mute.
OpenAI says DeepSeek used its work without permission to create an AI that's stealing its job. Did you hear that, though? ChatGPT and OpenAI say that DeepSeek, Chinese AI, used its work without permission to create an AI that's stealing its job, which is blatantly hypocritical since that's exactly what ChatGPT and AI do to human artists. So who gives a fuck? What do you mean? You have AI that you developed, and you developed that AI by stealing from people. And then somebody else creates a fucking better machine and steals your shit. Well, then everyone's just stealing.
Since when did they need permission from you to make
Nope.
something?
No, because guess what? If conquest is what we're doing now, then everyone's going to want in on it.
Everyone isn't on it.
If crime is what we're going to do now, then everyone's going to want in on it. If it's okay for one person to be a felon, then lots more are going to feel like it's okay to commit crimes. If we make it okay for these companies to steal, then what do you think people on Main Street are going to want to do? People on Main Street look up to celebrities, musicians, developers, politicians. Little kids want to work at Nike. They want to be rappers. They want to be in bands, and they want to work for OpenAI and places like Facebook. Kids that want to get into college want to work for places like Snapchat. Right, like, you know what I'm saying? Little kids want to work at Nike and NBA and be rappers and entrepreneurs, just like, you know, all the billionaires and the the Bezos and all the guys that got all the money, because that's what the kids are gonna see is successful. You got to be a football player. You got to be an app developer. So if you're an app developer and cheating to win and stomping on people and committing crimes is the way to win, and that's the way you're learning about the world in your young mind, when your brain is developing, you're experiencing and learning about the world by watching these superheroes. It's awfully tempting. OpenAI is sobbing that someone else did exactly what it did. I love the picture of this guy with purple sperm in his eye. Okay. After spending years indiscriminately ripping off other people's work and getting sued for copyright infringement left and right, OpenAI is sobbing that the busy Chinese AI startup DeepSeek did the same thing on its AI that it built. All it pilfered content. I don't know that word, pilfered.
Pilfered? I never heard that word before.
Let me look it up. Oh, stole. There you go.
Fancy way of saying stole.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. So let me read it for the. To steal, especially to steal stealthily.
Mm.
Yup, to steal stealthily in small amounts and often again and again. Ooh.
What else did they steal from OpenAI?
Do you see why we like to read out the full definitions of English here on the program? We like to know for sure. That way we don't just throw words around and pretend like we know what we're talking about here. That's the difference between William versus the World and other programs. Is when I don't know something, I don't sit up here and pretend like I'm an expert. We learn about the world together like this. There's nothing that I'm doing here, there's nothing that I've been prepped or trained on that I come on this program and know about before you guys, which makes us all equal here in this safe space. So we can all look and examine the science, we can examine the truth in the world together. Isn't that awesome?
Yes.
Like, I don't have some sort of superpower or some type of brain or education that you guys don't have. Together, we all use our knowledge collectively, you know? We all do our research together right here. That's why when we don't know something, instead of moving on and making small talk or pretending like we know what we're talking about or using fucking Scrabble words, we jump on and make sure we do the work. Go the extra mile.
That's awesome.
I hate this fucking microphone. I've had it.
Thank you for taking the time to look that up, because I was gonna ask you to look up that word.
Absolutely. Let's run it. Excuse me. Let's run it back now that we know what we're talking about. After spending years indiscriminately ripping off other people's work and getting sued for copyright infringement left and right, OpenAI is sobbing now that the busy Chinese AI startup DeepSeek has done the same thing on its AI that it built on all of that pilfered content. Motherfuckers. Shit. As the Financial Times reports, OpenAI is crying like a bitch. Accusing the app of using its proprietary model to train its own ChatGPT competitor. The company claimed that it had some evidence of DeepSeek using the output of OpenAI's model to train its own, a technique called distillation that it says may have breached its terms of service. Who gives a fuck?
What?
Who cares if me or you or anybody else breaches any terms of service by OpenAI? Who cares? That's my question.
What are they going to do?
What the fuck are they going to do about it?
Like, they're making all these claims, but, like, what are you going to do
Well,
about it?
you know, that's what you get when you're a thief. People come and steal from you, too.
Mm-hmm.
The news comes after DeepSeek flipped the AI industry on its ass, wiping out over $1 trillion worth of the market capitalization in a single day with an advanced model that's much less resource intensive than anything cooked up by Silicon Valley. It just shows what they really don't like is getting embarrassed in front of everybody because it costs people here billions and trillions of dollars to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that is because of the red tape and the legal crap and the which is why a lot of these huge tech companies, they want to tear down the law.
Yeah, that's why they're getting into politics.
That's what you get that you understand, you know. So that's why they want to bypass. They want to bypass the court system.
Yep.
So they can fast track a lot of this shit, and you know, and in other countries it doesn't take them as much time and money and lawyers and everyone waking up every day and doing the work. You know what I mean? It doesn't take them as much to take a risk. I wasn't kidding. There was another AI model that was released. I want to say hours after this DeepSeek thing was released, and it's all the same stuff. It's all Yahoo chat bots on crank. It's all Siri.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But, like,
it's
in text form.
Yeah. Here we go again. Another OpenAI researcher quit, claiming AI labs are taking a very risky gamble with humanity amid the race towards AGI. I mean, you know, AGI is the AI that they said was going to be AI originally. Don't ask me what AGI is today, everybody. You look it up yourself. AGI is the AI that they told us that we were going to get when they originally advertised AI to everyone at home. But the AI that we got now is not AGI or artificial intelligence. It's just a language model and a learning machine search engine. Basically, the current AI we have now is the internet. That isn't the internet because it doesn't search anything outside of the United States.
They lied to us.
So it's a search engine, man.
They lied to us and they tricked us.
But AGI is now the real AI that they were it's one of those things that were like, no, now we're going to really give you the AI. It's like hoverboards. Remember they were like, oh, we have hoverboards. Now, we all know hoverboards from Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know hoverboards that they sell in stores.
It's not a hoverboard.
They don't fucking hover.
It's not a hoverboard.
No one has ever made a hoverboard.
Ever.
That's AI.
Yeah.
It doesn't hover.
Yeah.
You're saying that it's, you know what I mean? Like, in order to develop it, they need to say hoverboard, 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 and then we all go crazy and burn a bunch of bread on this idea for development, for prototypes. Like, when you see robotics that are going to fold your laundry and give you back rubs, when you go on and you see these, you know, Silicon Valley robotics engineers building these sophisticated AI robots that do laundry for you and protect you and walk with you down the street and read books to you. When you see them doing backflips and cartwheels and shit like that, that's fucking hours and hours and hours of them tweaking and turning dials and adding and adjusting algorithms. You can go on the internet and see 1,000 hours of robots falling on their fucking face.
Yeah.
It's just they're not showing you that in the souped up AI commercial when they need, when they need people to have funds and invest in these big projects. They can't show you videos of AI and robots failing. You can't go in a room full of billionaires and go, look at my robot fall on his dick. It ain't going to be. You got to have it hitting backflips. Mm-hmm. So when you see on YouTube robots and AI performing what seems like magical feats, a lot of it is just content creators, guys like me and you, that are going in and shooting this shit with their iPhones and editing it for people at home on social media to go crazy about. Mm-hmm. Go online and go look at robots falling on their head. There is an unlimited amount of intelligent robots that are going to save the world falling on their faces. And they take the 15 seconds of these robots getting something right, and that's what you see in the commercial. Same thing with people. Mm-hmm. When they shoot movies, the guy jumps over the bridge and breaks his fucking neck, and he does it again, and he does it again, and he does it again until he gets it right. When we shoot music videos, it's kind of like that. We shoot 8 different videos, and then we piece it together.
It's the same.
It's the same shit. Vincent said here, Boston Dynamics. Gio said, I keep trying to click Will's pop-up window. Hold on. Let me get you. I think I just got to go to this one. There you go. I'm here. Did you click it?
In the screen?
Well, now I am. Listen, guys, thank you guys for hanging out. We'll talk more about this AGI shit as time goes on. And I really would have had I would have had more music news. But it really is. Like, if you looked up music news right now, it's all about court and robots. The music industry is court and robots. You can't even find, nobody's even coming out with any music. Guys, we're coming out with new music.
Yeah, we are.
Sepsis is coming out with new music, and I'm not going to tell you when.
Ha. So stay tuned.
Yeah. You guys have a good night. I love all you guys. Thank you so much for spending time with me and always being generous and so supportive of the band, the music, our lives. From the bottom of my heart, I love all y'all. Be safe out there. Much love and respect.
Bye.
Where's the world?